Hello, it's Emily from EmilyRlong.com, and I am the mama of Grace and Lily, both gone too soon, as well as the author of the books The Invisible Mothers, You Are Not Alone, and the upcoming From Father to Father. And we are having another little video chat for our Voices of Lost series with Amelia Kowalisyn, who is the mama of Alex and Emma, and she is works with Emma's footprints and on Coming Alive. And so she's going to share a little of her story and why, and some of her thoughts around this thing called life after loss and why it's important to keep talking about it. So I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for having me and asking me to do this. I really appreciate it. I love the work that you do and your books. Obviously, we include those in our care packages. So, um,
Yes.
yeah, I am the mother of Alex and Emma. My twins were born premature at 31 weeks. Um, the reason that they were born premature is that I had gone in for a routine ultrasound and they found that Emma's heart rate was not fluctuating as it should be. So they immediately took me into the hospital. They did a non-stress test. She was continuing to not respond how she should. And so they opted to deliver the twins. So our Emma, shortly after they were born, we discovered that she had had a stroke in utero, which was causing the issues. Alex, however, was doing fairly well for his age, for his gestational age, and was responding how he should. At a week old, once we found out how severe Emma's stroke could potentially be, we decided to have her airlifted to Riley Children's Hospital, which is about 3 hours away. And unfortunately, Alex was not able to go with because he didn't meet the requirements to be transferred to that hospital. So it was a tough decision. We did it with a lot of thought, prayer, and a lot of talking to specialists and getting advice, good advice on it. And essentially, that was the best place for Emma. So we got her there and we decided that every 3 days we would go back and forth between our kids to make sure that we were spending enough time or as much time as we could with each of them and not neglecting either. And at 23 days old, our daughter passed away. Her stroke had taken, essentially, she was brain dead, and it was the worst infant stroke that they had seen at Riley Children's Hospital. It took out both sides of her brain, all the way down through her brain stem. So Emma passed away at 23 days old. Alex came home from the NICU the day after her funeral, and that's kind of where our real tough journey through grief began and where everything started. But also, a little bit about our story is that prior to Alex and Emma, we had had 2 miscarriages. And then after Alex and Emma, we've had 2 more miscarriages, the last one being last holiday season. So we're kind of figuring out all of this, navigating this. This coming weekend is actually the second anniversary of when we lost Emma. One of the things that we've done since losing our daughter is we established a charity in memory of her. And we supply care packages to NICUs, 6 NICUs, and we provide bereavement care packages all over the country. We also try to bring awareness, support to families when they need us. We try to educate medical staff on how to be there for families, how to support them, how to be more mindful when they're working with families who have gone through loss. And we also donated 7 cuddle cots to hospitals this summer. So that was really a big accomplishment for us and very important. Yeah, it was really pretty special to be able to do that. Another project that I'm a part of is On Coming Alive, where I'm the director of outreach. So if you watch the videos on there, you'll see either myself or Kristen talking and sharing our experience and our journeys through this, what has helped us, what has hurt us, just kind of our hearts of where we are in this journey and how we found hope after loss. We have a workshop coming up for bereaved parents that we're working on, and a journal called Journaling Through Grief. So that's a little bit about the projects that I've been working on. Why this is so important, talking about our kids, is because I guess I feel like, how is it not important? You know, these are our children. These are babies that we loved, that we grew, that we carried, you know, either in our bellies or in our hearts,
Right.
you know, however the child came to you. And no matter how long that they were with you, they're always a part of your soul, a part of your being. Um, Emma is such an important part of our family. You know, we talk about her to Alex. Alex's second word was Emma. You know, she's, yeah. Um, we we make sure to include her in as much as we can, because she's a child. I think a lot of people understand that. They think, you know, she was only with you for such a short period of time. You know, haven't you moved on yet, or haven't you? Aren't you done grieving? Shouldn't you push that to the side? But no, I. You never push your children to the side. You never forget your friend or forget what they mean to you. You know,
Right.
she's always going to be a part of our family no matter what, until the day that we die and we get to see her again.
Mhm.
So I just think having that open conversation, talking about our children, and being able to talk about our grief, it shouldn't be shameful. It shouldn't be taboo. You know, when we went through our first two miscarriages, it was such a taboo topic, and I was so embarrassed. I didn't know how to talk about it, who to talk about it with. I didn't realize how many people had gone through losses, and especially miscarriages, until we lost Emma, and then people started coming out of the woodwork. And
Right.
people that I hadn't, you know, talked to in years were reaching out and sharing their stories with me. So, you know, I think people need the safe place to speak and to share and to be open. And I think that we are so behind in where we should be in grief and loss. And, you know, as a community, as you know, human beings, we need to honor and appreciate these little lives, no matter how long they were with us.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like if we don't talk about it, then nobody gets the support that they deserve, you know.
right.
And so I think talking about it opens up avenues for people to find each other. Because it is surprising when you do talk about it, how many people you find that it's we think it's this rare thing, and then you mention it in one room and it's like there's a half a dozen people right there saying, "Yeah, me too."
Exactly. Yeah, it's so much. I mean, it's one in four. It's so much more
Right.
common than you actually think. Yeah, it's been such this taboo topic for so long that everyone's afraid to
Right.
talk about. So it's really wonderful to see how far it's come.
Is there anything in particular that you wish or want people to understand about like living after this sort of loss, about navigating life after this sort of
You know,
thing?
I think the most important thing to remember, and I know in those early days, those early months, even that first year, it is so hard to think that you're going to be happy again, or to think that you're going to find joy again. And I know for me, I was so afraid to ever say that I was having a good day. I just couldn't do it because I felt like I was betraying my child.
Right.
I felt like if I were to say that I was having a good day, even though I had a newborn at home who I love my son more than anything, but that I was betraying my daughter.
Right.
And it's not betrayal. You're allowed to have good days. You know, you're allowed to find joy again. You're allowed to live your life, and you know, however you need to do that. But I think what some people, it can be hard because you get stuck in the grief, and I understand that. I mean, I truly do. I was stuck in mine, and I don't think that. I think that people think that if you are not continuously um, grieving and, you know, staying in that sad place, and if you even start to find joy, then you're not honoring your child and you're not saying that you miss them or you're not showing that you miss them. And I don't think that that's true at all. I think the two can intertwine. You know, the joy and the grief, I think that you can have both, and I have both every day. I
Right.
find joy in every day, but I miss my daughter every day. You know, and I want people to keep that in mind, that it's okay to find that joy. And I always tell my families through Emma's Footprints that, you know, I know it sounds scary and you're not going to believe me, but at some
Right.
point you're going to find that again. And I
Right.
promise you, you will.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't mean you've forgotten your child or that you've
No,
forgotten that experience. It just means that it's not all of your experience anymore. You get
exactly.
to have both at the same time. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Good. Anything else you want to share before we kind of wrap it up, or
Um,
it's such a huge topic. We could talk forever, but
I know, exactly. No, I guess just one of the things that I would touch on is, you know, in your marriage or your relationship, just remember that each individual grieves differently, and to be able to honor that, and to be able to find what works for you and your spouse. I know my husband and I really struggled with that.
yeah,
It can really take a toll on relationships. So I think just keeping that in mind and allowing each other to grieve how best it works for them
right,
is something very important, and to lean on each other, you know. And if it's not your spouse or your significant other, you know, allowing friends to help you and take care of you and leaning on them. Just don't like you have to be the strongest person in the world, because
right,
I felt that way and I know that was very lonesome. So
right.
make sure that you're allowing people to help you and be there for you.
Good. Well, great. Well, thank you very much for chatting with me and sharing your
Of course.
thoughts. And we will post all of the links to your sites and to the workshops and everything with the video, and
Okay.
so everybody can check it all out.
Thank you